In a giant, sprawling landfill, mountains of forgotten things lay piled high. There were shiny tin cans that once held delicious soups, plastic bottles that had quenched many a thirst, and crinkly nylon bags that had carried groceries home. Now they all felt a bit sad and useless, buried under layers of more and more forgotten things. The tin cans missed being full, the plastic bottles longed to hold something again, and the nylon bags wished they could fly in the wind one last time. They thought their stories were over, that they were just trash, destined to be forgotten forever. But one sunny morning, everything was about to change. A little girl with bright, curious eyes and a heart full of imagination came wandering near the landfill. Her name was Na, and she didn't see a mountain of trash. She saw a mountain of possibilities. She looked at a dented tin can and didn't see junk. She saw a drum waiting to be played. She spotted a clear plastic bottle and didn't see waste. She saw a perfect home for a beautiful flower. And when she saw a colorful nylon bag caught on a branch flapping in the breeze, she didn't see litter. She saw a kite longing to soar through the sky, believed that everything and everyone deserved a second chance. With a determined smile, she carefully gathered the tin cans, plastic bottles, and nylon bags into her little red wagon and pulled them home. She knew she could give them a new purpose. Back in her cozy little workshop, which was really just a corner of her garage, Na got to work. Her hands were small, but her ideas were big. She cleaned the plastic bottles until they sparkled. Then she filled them with rich, dark soil and planted tiny seeds inside. Soon, they weren't just old bottles anymore. They were beautiful, thriving flower pots with vibrant green sprouts peeking out to say hello. They stood proudly on her windowsill, soaking up the sun, happy to be holding life again. Had a new job, a new purpose, and they had never felt more useful. Next, N.A. turned her attention to the tin cans. She washed them and carefully smoothed out any sharp edges. Then, she took out her paint's bright reds, sunny yellows, and brilliant blues. She painted stripes, dots, and happy faces all over the cans. She stretched a piece of old cloth over the top of one and tapped it. Boom, boom, boom. It made a fantastic sound. She had turned the sad, empty tin cans into a cheerful set of drums. They were no longer silent and forgotten. They were instruments of joy, ready to create music and make people dance. They had found their rhythm again. Finally, it was time for the nylon bags. Not gently untangled them and laid them flat. She found some thin sticks from her backyard and carefully attached them to the bags, creating a strong frame. She tied a long string to the bottom, and just like that, the flimsy, discarded bags were transformed into a magnificent kite. It was a rainbow of colors, a patchwork of her rescued treasures. The bag that once felt so grounded and useless was now ready to touch the clouds. It was more than just a kite. It was a symbol of hope and new beginnings. Na couldn't wait to see it fly. The next day was show and tell at school, and Na was bursting with excitement. She carefully packed her recycled treasures, the flower pot bottles, the drum kit cans, and her magnificent kite. When it was her turn, she stood in front of her class and told the story of the landfill and the forgotten things. She showed them the beautiful flower pots with their tiny green plants reaching for the light. She played a happy beat on her colorful tin can drums, and her classmates started clapping along. Everyone's faces lit up with wonder. They couldn't believe that these amazing creations were made from things people had thrown away. After her presentation, Na's teacher, Ms. Anya, took the class outside to the schoolyard. The wind was perfect. Held her kite high, took a running start, and let go of the string. The kite caught the breeze and soared into the air, dancing and dipping against the bright blue sky. It was a beautiful sight. All her friends cheered, their eyes following the colorful speck as it flew higher and higher. They were amazed. "Wow, Na, you made that from a plastic bag?" one of her friends asked. "That's incredible," said another. They all started buzzing with ideas of their own. Project sparked something in everyone. Her friends started looking at trash in a whole new way. They saw old newspapers and thought of making paper hats. They saw cardboard boxes and imagined building a giant castle. They saw yogurt cups and pictured a long, winding telephone. Miss Anya was so proud. She announced that the school would start its own recycling club. Led by N.A., they would collect old items and have invention days where they would turn trash into treasure, just like N.A. did. The whole school got involved, and soon the playground was filled with amazing recycled creations. The story of NA and her recycled treasures teaches us a very important lesson. Nothing is ever truly useless. It's just like the tin cans, plastic bottles, and nylon bags. Sometimes things and even people just need a second chance. They need someone to look closely, see their hidden value, and give them an opportunity to shine in a new way. Every single thing has the potential to be good and useful if we just use a little bit of creativity and a lot of heart. So next time you're about to throw something away, stop and think. Could this be a drum, a flower pot, or maybe even a kite ready to fly? You might be surprised at the treasures you can find. The world is full of possibilities, waiting to be discovered in the most unexpected places. By recycling and reusing, we not only clean up our planet, but we also unlock a world of creativity and fun. We give old things a new story, a new life, and in doing so, we make our world a more beautiful and interesting place. So let's all be like, nah. Let's look for the treasure in the trash, the potential in the forgotten, and the magic in the everyday. Let's be creators, inventors, and caretakers of our wonderful Earth. Thank you for listening to this story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales of turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. See you next time.
Like, comment, and subscribe.